Elon Musk recently set the internet on fire with a cryptic tweet that hinted at something huge, a UFO-style fighter jet. Turns out, he wasn't just trolling. After a secretive reveal, Musk introduced the X-001, a jet that defies physics with anti-gravity propulsion, AI control, and speeds that break the sound barrier. So let's get right into it. What no one saw coming. The buzz about Elon Musk being involved in some next-level UFO-style fighter jet started with a single cryptic tweet. Musk, known for trolling the internet and making us all question reality, simply posted, "Why should aliens have all the fun?" No emojis, no context, just a blunt statement that felt more like a puzzle piece than one of his usual jokes. Naturally, the internet lost its collective mind. At first, people brushed it off as Musk's way of poking fun at conspiracy theories. Because, let's be honest, this guy has a habit of throwing out wild tweets just to see what happens. But this time, something felt off. There was an eerie seriousness to it. Theories started flying, and within hours, the internet was buzzing with speculation. Things really heated up when some blurry, grainy photos started making rounds on Reddit and X. The images showed an aircraft that looked nothing like anything we've seen in modern aviation. It wasn't your average jet with wings and engines. This thing was sleek, metallic, and had a design that felt more Star Wars than Boeing. It had curves and edges that screamed, "I'm not from around here." Naturally, skeptics came out in full force, calling it a hoax or a bad Photoshop job. But here's where it gets interesting. Major tech journalists started weighing in. Writers from outlets like The Verge and Wired hinted that the images might actually be real, and they could have been leaked straight from Tesla's top-secret research division. Yeah, Tesla, the company known for EVs and self-driving tech, apparently might be dabbling in fighter jets now. Casual. Theories quickly escalated. People started throwing around terms like Project Black Halo and gravity manipulation on forums and blogs. According to supposed insiders, this wasn't just a fancy new jet, it was something way beyond our understanding of physics. Words like anti-gravity and zero-point energy started popping up. Basically, it was sounding less like a military project and more like something that would get Mulder and Scully knocking on Musk's door. And then, there's Musk himself. Normally the guy is all over social media, responding to tweets, dropping memes and hyping up his projects. But this time, radio silence. Not a peep from his usually buzzing accounts. No confirmation, no denial, nothing. If this were a joke or a stunt, you'd think he'd lean into it, right? Instead, the silence just made the whole situation even weirder. As the rumors gained traction, more leaks started trickling out. Alleged employees claimed this project had been in the works for years, hidden under Tesla's umbrella, away from prying eyes. The tech behind it was supposedly light years ahead, literally bending the rules of gravity. If true, this wasn't just a cool plane. It was a game changer for aerospace and, frankly, humanity. But none of that prepared anyone for what Musk unveiled next. Introducing the X-001. Leave it to Elon Musk to reveal something mind-blowing in the most unconventional way possible. During a private investor event, Musk introduced the world to his latest creation, the X-01. Even the name gave off major sci-fi vibes. The X is a nod to mystery, while the Greek letter Omega hinted at a bold claim that this might be the endgame of fighter jet evolution. When the big reveal finally happened, it wasn't just another sleek jet. Oh no, this thing was a complete curveball. As the curtains lifted, there was an audible gasp from the room. The X-01 wasn't just a new take on fighter jets, it was something entirely different. It looked like it had flown straight out of an alien hangar. First off, the jet was matte black, but not the kind of matte black you see on sports cars. This was something else. Its surface seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it, making it look like a void in the shape of an aircraft. Musk casually explained that the outer material was made of advanced composites mixed with some proprietary elements, which is Musk speak for, "You don't even want to know how we made this." The design was wild. Forget wings, tails, or the usual jet-like shape. The X-01 was a smooth, saucer-like craft that completely ignored traditional aerodynamics. Its streamlined body didn't just minimize air resistance, it looked like it had redefined how air resistance even works. There were no visible engines, no cockpit as we know it, and certainly no parts sticking out. Instead, the jet had subtle iridescent panels across its surface. Musk hinted that these concealed its propulsion systems and advanced sensor arrays, all of which operate in ways that, let's be real, most of us can't comprehend. And then, Musk dropped the real bombshell. The X-01 uses anti-gravity propulsion and electromagnetic field manipulation. Yep, you read that right. Anti-gravity. According to Musk, this technology lets the jet hover, rotate, and accelerate in literally any direction almost instantly. Forget the gradual turns and climbs of current aircraft. This thing could make moves that would make video game jets jealous. The science behind it? Musk said it was rooted in decades of theoretical physics and ideas that used to be dismissed as sci-fi nonsense. Of course, Tesla's top-tier AI is running the show, controlling flight dynamics and adapting to environmental changes faster than any human pilot ever could. It's not just flying, it's thinking. Musk claimed the X-01 can hit speeds exceeding Mach 7, over 5,300 miles per hour. That's faster than anything the military has in the air right now. Oh, and forget jet fuel. The X-01 doesn't need it. Instead, it uses a closed-loop energy system that Musk vaguely described as quantum-level energy extraction and regeneration. Of course, not everyone is on board with Musk's latest stunt, especially when it comes to the government. Not everyone's happy about it. When Elon Musk unveiled the X-01, a jet powered by anti-gravity propulsion and AI-controlled systems, the tech world went wild. But it didn't take long for the US government to get involved. And let's just say they're not sending congratulatory fruit baskets. Musk's shiny new toy has ignited a storm of controversy, particularly with the Pentagon and the defense sector. Why? Because technologies with potential military applications don't exactly get to bypass regulations. The US government has a tight grip on anything that could impact national security, and Musk's decision to reveal the X-01 without jumping through the usual bureaucratic hoops has made more than a few officials nervous. Word on the street is that Pentagon insiders are calling this project a potential security threat, and honestly, you can see why. The X-01 anti-gravity propulsion system is a game-changer. If it works as Musk claims, it could make current military defenses obsolete overnight. That's a big deal. For context, the military has been tinkering with anti-gravity tech since the 1950s. The US Air Force even explored concepts like electrogravitics, which sounds like something out of Star Trek. But most of that research stayed theoretical, never quite making the leap into reality. Now Musk comes along with a fully functional jet that seems to break all the rules of physics. You can imagine how that might ruffle some feathers. And then there's the AI factor. The X-01 doesn't just fly, it thinks. The jet's AI systems control everything from flight dynamics to adapting to environmental factors, making it far more advanced than anything humans could pilot. While that sounds cool, it also raises some serious red flags. AI in military applications is a double-edged sword. Sure, it offers incredible capabilities, but what happens if it's hacked or misused? Autonomous weaponry isn't just a sci-fi nightmare anymore. It's a real concern. The idea of this tech falling into the wrong hands, or worse, being deployed without proper safeguards, is keeping a lot of people up at night. Musk, for his part, has been playing it cool in public. He's brushing off the government's concerns, arguing that innovation shouldn't be stifled by regulations. In typical Musk fashion, he's been advocating for the democratization of technology, saying progress belongs to everyone, not just governments or big corporations. But behind the scenes, it's a different story. There are whispers of intense legal discussions between Musk's team and federal agencies. Some officials are reportedly considering legal action to bring Musk and the X-01 in line with national security protocols. Despite all this, Musk is pushing forward. He's already hinting at civilian uses for the X-01, like rapid global travel. Imagine crossing continents in minutes instead of hours. That's the dream Musk is selling. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The cost of developing, maintaining, and operating something like this would be astronomical. Add in the regulatory nightmare of getting a jet like this approved for civilian use, and it's clear there's a long road ahead. The X-01 also highlights the broader challenge of integrating groundbreaking tech into existing systems. Governments move slowly, think glacial pace, and the X-01 represents a leap so big it's like trying to fit a spaceship into a car dealership. The Pentagon's apprehension isn't just about the X-01 itself, it's about what it represents. If private companies can develop tech this advanced without government oversight, it throws the whole system of checks and balances out of whack. So with all of this in mind, it begs the question, could this change everything? Elon Musk's X-01 has sparked a mix of excitement and apprehension across the world. It's not just another step forward in aviation. It's more like a quantum leap into uncharted territory. With capabilities that make current military aircraft look dated, it's no wonder reactions are split. Some see the X-01 as the kind of breakthrough that could revolutionize human progress. From drastically improved medical response times to reimagining disaster relief and commercial travel, its potential is staggering. On the other hand, skeptics are concerned about the risks of pushing the limits too far, too fast. The question isn't just whether we can do it, it's whether we should. Speed is one of the X-01's most jaw-dropping features. The jet's hybrid propulsion system, which combines quantum computing with anti-gravity technology, allows it to hit speeds of up to Mach 15. To put that into perspective, that's over 11,500 miles per hour. It means you could fly from New York to Sydney in under an hour. This isn't just a faster jet, it's a redefinition of how we travel. The jet's speed is matched only by its smoothness. Its near-frictionless glide through the atmosphere feels like something out of a physics textbook rewritten by a dreamer. Aerodynamic principles, as we know them, seem to take a back seat to whatever magic Musk's team has engineered. Some scientists are even suggesting that the X-01 might force us to rethink or expand on fundamental laws of physics. But the X-01 isn't just fast, it's also incredibly intelligent. Its AI system doesn't merely assist pilots, it acts as a fully integrated co-pilot that learns and adapts in real time. Using neural networks, the AI optimizes fuel use, flight paths, and overall performance while predicting and solving issues before they become problems. Imagine flying through unexpected turbulence. The X-01 AI would detect it, adjust the flight path, and stabilize the aircraft, all before the human pilot even notices. Musk has described the AI as a self-evolving co-pilot, and while that sounds futuristic and cool, it also raises questions. How much control do humans retain when the AI gets smarter with every flight? At what point does the machine's autonomy outweigh human oversight? The jet's propulsion system is where the real paradigm shift happens. By relying on advanced electromagnetic field manipulation, the X-01 achieves lift without the need for traditional thrust. This anti-gravity technology eliminates the need for runways and opens the door to vertical takeoffs from urban areas, silent flights over populated zones, and landings in places previously deemed impossible. For the military, this technology is transformative, offering unmatched maneuverability and stealth. But the implications for civilian use are equally fascinating. Imagine bypassing congested airports entirely, boarding a jet from a building rooftop in New York, and arriving directly in the center of London. It's not just convenient, it's a complete rethinking of transportation. Cargo transport also stands to benefit in ways that could revolutionize logistics. Direct point-to-point delivery between cities would remove reliance on traditional infrastructure like ports and highways, speeding up supply chains and reducing delays. The possibilities stretch far beyond personal travel. As exciting as the X-01 sounds, it also comes with its share of concerns. Is the world ready for a jet that can challenge the boundaries of physics? Can we regulate technology this advanced before it creates unintended consequences? While the X-01 may represent the future of aviation, it also forces us to confront the balance between innovation and caution. The X-01 capabilities aren't just advanced, they're next level in a way that traditional defense systems weren't designed to handle. Its silent propulsion and radar-resistant materials mean it could easily slip through restricted airspace without anyone noticing. That's terrifying for security experts, who fear adversaries might create similar tech, making current missile defenses and radar systems about as useful as flip phones in a smartphone world. The potential for stealth and precision is huge, but so are the risks. Imagine an aircraft that can conduct reconnaissance missions, jam electronic systems, or even carry out precision strikes without giving any warning. The X-01 AI is fast, smart, and adaptive, qualities that could make it an ideal tool for autonomous operations. But here's where things get murky. If the AI becomes capable of making split-second decisions to execute an attack without human input, what are the ethical and legal implications? The idea of machines deciding life and death matters on their own is unsettling, to say the least. Experts warn that this could pave the way for a new kind of arms race, one where governments aren't necessarily the key players. Instead, private corporations and billionaires with access to cutting-edge tech could hold the balance of power. Who ensures accountability then? Who makes sure this kind of technology isn't misused? This isn't just a military concern. Public opinion on the X-01 is just as split. Supporters see it as a marvel of human ingenuity, a symbol that we're on the cusp of a new technological golden age. They picture a world where the X-01 is used to save lives, flying medical supplies to remote regions in minutes, or delivering disaster relief almost instantly. They imagine a future where international travel isn't the grueling process it is today, but a smooth, seamless experience that feels like stepping into the future. But the skeptics aren't so sure. They point to potential downsides, like job losses in traditional aviation sectors as autonomous systems take over. They worry about over-reliance on AI leading to accidents if something goes wrong. And then there's the societal divide. What happens if this kind of technology becomes yet another tool that widens the gap between the tech elite and everyone else? Environmental concerns also loom large. Musk has claimed that the X-01 propulsion system is cleaner than any jet engine ever created, and that's great if true. But producing anti-gravity materials might require rare earth elements and high-energy processes, which could have unforeseen environmental impacts. Critics argue that the long-term consequences of this tech could outweigh the short-term gains, especially if the production process isn't as clean as Musk suggests. Despite these concerns, it's hard to deny the X-01 potential to reshape how we think about travel, logistics, and even global connectivity. For supporters, this jet represents the next step in human progress, a leap toward a future where distance is no longer a barrier. For critics, it's a Pandora's box that could unleash more problems than it solves. Countries that used to comfortably lead the tech race are now scrambling to catch up, while others are rushing to impose restrictions on similar advancements. It's not just a matter of keeping up with Musk's latest brainchild. It's about the implications this kind of tech could have on power, security, and control. The United Nations, never one to shy away from a good debate, has called for an international summit to hash out regulations and ethical boundaries for next-gen aerospace technology. They're worried about what happens when anti-gravity and AI-driven systems start becoming commonplace. And honestly, who can blame them? Some governments have even hinted at pushing for a global treaty to keep this tech in check, basically trying to make sure no one goes rogue with an army of anti-gravity drones or stealth jets. The X-01 is a key to unlocking insane possibilities, revolutionizing travel, logistics, and even disaster response. But it's also a Pandora's box, forcing us to face tough questions about control, ethics, and the kind of world we want to build. Think about it. Who gets to decide how this technology is used? Do we want it in the hands of governments, private corporations, or, scarier still, individuals with enough money and ambition to shape the future in their image? The stakes are massive, and we're not exactly prepared for the moral, political, and environmental challenges this tech brings to the table. Right now, the X-01 stands as a mind-blowing marvel of engineering perched on the edge of history. It could lead us to a world of unprecedented innovation and connectivity, a place where travel and logistics are seamless, and the boundaries of geography no longer matter. Or it could spiral into a dangerous power struggle, with nations and corporations racing to weaponize or monopolize the tech. With all the chaos and speculation, the question on everyone's mind now is, so what now? For now, the world watches and waits. Elon Musk has promised future demonstrations of the X-01, and rumors are swirling that he might even take it one step further by challenging the government and performing an unauthorized flight over restricted airspace. Is this just Musk's usual flair for the dramatic? Or is it a real act of defiance against the powers that be? Whatever the truth is, the possibility of such a provocative move has sparked heated debates across industries, political circles, and social media. Supporters of Musk's potential stunt are hailing it as a bold, revolutionary step to break free from the chains of bureaucratic regulation and push the boundaries of innovation. They see it as a necessary challenge, one that could free technology from the stranglehold of outdated rules, allowing it to move forward at a pace that matches the potential it holds. For them, it's about progress, not just for Musk's company, but for all of humanity. On the flip side, there are plenty of critics who view this as reckless grandstanding, potentially putting public safety at risk and sparking unnecessary conflicts with authorities. It's easy to see why they're worried. The X-01 is no ordinary jet. It's a total reimagining of flight, blending autonomous systems, hybrid propulsion, and cutting-edge materials that could change the way we think about transportation, defense, and even exploration. So, Musk's defiant moves may seem like an exciting vision of the future for some, but for others, they're a dangerous gamble with too many unknowns. The X-01 is being described as a true game-changer. It has the capability for vertical takeoff and landing, meaning it could operate in urban areas or places that were previously off-limits to conventional aircraft. Add to that the jet's speeds that are light years ahead of current commercial airliners, and it's not hard to see why this could revolutionize both logistics and transportation. If successful, this kind of technology could drastically reduce travel times, shrink the world, and open up opportunities for exploring places we've never dreamed of reaching before. It's not just a faster way to get from point A to point B, though. The X-01 represents a fundamental shift in how we think about flight itself. Imagine a world where getting from New York to Tokyo isn't a multi-hour flight, but a quick hop that's almost instantaneous. The jet's ability to defy traditional flight dynamics and operate at speeds far beyond anything we've seen before makes it a potential game-changer, not just in terms of technology, but in the way people live, work, and interact with the world. However, beyond the technological marvel of the X-01 lies an even deeper, more philosophical question. Musk's development of an aircraft capable of bypassing existing air traffic control systems and regulatory frameworks is raising some serious issues about control. Who gets to decide how this new world of advanced aviation is managed? Is it the governments that have long overseen airspace? Or will private companies like Musk's take the reins, deciding how and where people can fly? Critics of this new approach argue that allowing private entities to control such powerful technology could lead to chaos, inequality, and unforeseen consequences. They point out that if Musk or other billionaires can operate with almost no oversight, we could quickly find ourselves in a world where those with the most advanced tech call the shots, regardless of national security or the well-being of the public. They're concerned about the security risks posed by unregulated flight paths, the potential for misuse, and how such technologies could disrupt existing infrastructure. On the other side, there's a growing camp that argues current regulations are outdated and have been stifling progress for far too long. They believe that the world needs more innovators like Musk, people willing to take risks and challenge norms in order to push humanity forward. For them, the X-01 isn't just a symbol of technological advancement, but a rallying cry for freedom, creativity, and the ability of individuals to shape the future. They argue that the status quo needs to be shaken up if we're going to make any real advancements. As the debate continues, one thing is becoming clear. The X-01 represents more than just one piece of technology or even a singular flight. It's symbolic of a much larger conversation about the kind of future we want to create and who gets to decide how that future unfolds. Will we embrace a more open, less restricted approach to innovation, where private companies can lead the charge and set the pace for development? Or will we tighten the reins in the name of safety, security, and order, ensuring that every new advancement is carefully controlled and monitored? If Musk's vision for the X-01 becomes reality, the skies of tomorrow could look radically different from what we know today. Picture a world where personal air travel is as common as hopping in a car, where delivery drones zip around autonomously, bringing packages to your doorstep in minutes, and where the limitations of traditional transport are all but erased. It's a world that could redefine mobility, making it easier for people and goods to travel long distances quickly and efficiently. But of course, such a world is as terrifying as it is exciting. The very idea of having powerful AI-driven aircraft in the hands of private companies, especially ones with the potential for military applications, raises some serious concerns. If this kind of technology is unregulated, we could be looking at a future where a few individuals or corporations control entire industries, with little oversight or accountability. It could lead to a new kind of inequality, where the people who already have the most power gain even more by controlling the skies. So, where does all of this leave us? Right now, the X-01 stands as a testament to what could be possible, both in terms of innovation and human potential. But with that potential comes a mountain of ethical, political, and social challenges that can't be ignored. The future of aviation, and possibly the future of our world, hinges on how we choose to move forward with this kind of technology. That's not all Musk's putting his time towards, though. There's also his space exploration. SpaceX, Elon Musk's private space company, has been making waves in space exploration, pushing the limits of what we thought was possible. From launching rockets to planning missions to the Moon and Mars, SpaceX has completely shaken up the aerospace industry and continues to do so. One of the biggest projects they've been working on is Starship, a next-gen rocket designed to take humans and cargo to places far beyond Earth, like the Moon and Mars. Starship is meant to be the rocket of the future, a massive, fully reusable spacecraft that could cut down the cost of space travel by a huge margin. In April 2023, SpaceX conducted Starship's first orbital flight test. The test wasn't perfect. There were some hiccups along the way, which is typical in the early stages of rocket development, but it still marked a major milestone in space exploration. It showed that the rocket could get off the ground and head toward orbit, which is a huge step forward in making space travel more accessible and affordable. Since that first test, SpaceX has been refining Starship, launching multiple test flights in 2024 to fine-tune the rocket's design and functionality. These tests have been key to proving that Starship is not just a theoretical concept, but something that could realistically take off in the near future. One of the most impressive features of Starship is its ability to vertically take off and land. This is a game-changer because it means the rocket can be reused multiple times, which could drastically reduce the cost of launching payloads into space. The rocket is also built to carry massive payloads, whether it's sending satellites into orbit, transporting cargo to the International Space Station, or even eventually taking humans to Mars. Starship's size and power are game-changers. As SpaceX continues to test and refine this beast of a rocket, the potential is clear. Starship could make space travel more like air travel, where rockets could be reused and launched regularly at a fraction of the cost we see today. All of this is important because it has positioned SpaceX as a major competitor to traditional space agencies like NASA. In fact, the work SpaceX is doing is pushing NASA to think outside the box and look to private companies for help with some of their most ambitious projects. SpaceX's progress with Starship could be a big factor in reducing the cost of space exploration, which historically has been astronomical, pun intended. But Starship isn't the only thing SpaceX is working on. Another major project is Starlink, a satellite network that aims to provide global high-speed internet coverage. Starlink has the potential to change the way we connect to the internet, especially in remote areas where traditional internet infrastructure just doesn't exist. With a constellation of thousands of small satellites orbiting Earth, Starlink could make the internet more accessible to people around the globe, especially those in rural or underserved regions. This initiative is already generating a lot of revenue for SpaceX, which is helping to fund their other space projects, like Starship. Starlink isn't just important for internet access, it's also a key part of SpaceX's business model. The revenue generated from Starlink allows SpaceX to keep innovating and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in space technology. It's a smart way to finance the development of Starship and other space-related projects, while also creating a new market for global communications. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one.